Okay, so this is my really old, it is a, what is it, a Sea King? Yeah, this is a Montgomery Ward's Sea King 5 horsepower. I'm going to try it to work. I've kind of got it to start. It won't idle. And it kind of runs bad. As you can see, I have a clamp holding on that because the C thing broke. And then, yeah, so we pretty much just have to pull the carb off again. I'm going to blow it through this time. The fuel pump that was on this side of it, it's broken. It needed a what's it called? Diaphragm, and the diaphragms are hard to find. So I just have my fuel pump from my GY6 right here. And yeah, so that should work. It did run yesterday. Like I said, it ran bad, and it only runs with the choke semi-closed. Now I don't know if that's because it's not getting enough fuel from the fuel pump or what's going on, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to clean the carburetor, and then we're going to check the points. It is a single-cylinder engine, and I don't think there's a transmission on it. Yeah, and then I don't know nothing about the bottom end of it yet, so we're gonna have to figure that out too. So yeah, let's figure that out. Okay. So there's two nuts. To take the carburetor off, there's two nuts. One here, one on this side. They are a 7/16. So you just loosen those off. All I've done on this is take the spark plug out, check it, which that could also be the problem, and the carburetor. So we're just going to pull the carb off. There are two nuts that hold the carburetor on. And then what you do is you you gotta take the fuel line off. Mine's custom, so mine's gonna be a little bit different than yours. Actually, you don't have to, it's maybe come up with it. So, you want your throttle to be all the way on fast. And then you're able to kind of pull it, and then you gotta get this out of the way. You pull this up. It's the choke, and the whole carburetor will come off. So yeah, we're going to change angles and take this apart again. Okay, now take the bowl off. So this is what I did. I went to Ace Hardware and I got a barb fitting. It's a 13/16 by 1/8 MIP. That's what this is. It replaces the stock fuel pump with the barb fitting. So we'll take this off. If I'm not wrong, this lets you adjust the main jet, yeah, because it has a. Ooh, that gas is kind of a little dirty in there. Strange. So yeah, this goes into the pilot, or the not pilot, the main jet, which is in there. I'm gonna try to tap the pin out for the float here. There we go. Take your pin out, your float. Now I've already taken this carburetor apart, like completely, as much as I could. Took that out, took these plates off, cleaned the plates because it was all dirty. But clearly it's not perfect because it's not running right still. So my theory, I don't know if this has a pilot jet or not. It might. So I'm going to blow through everything I can see here. I think that is a pilot. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's what this is. This is your, I'm pretty sure this is your pilot jet. So I'll blow through this hole, which will control your idle and your pilot. And then I'm going to blow through the main hole. We'll put it all back together. And then, yeah, hopefully it works good. Okay, got my, whatever this thing's called, my air compressor hooked up. So I'm going to blow through the main. Nothing surprising, nothing wrong there. I'm going to blow through what I think is the pilot. Oh, that little brass piece just blew out. But at least we can make sure it's clear, which it is. Push that brass piece back in there. So when you blow into the main jet, there's a little tube. When you blow in the main jet, there's a little tube that goes up to the pilot and it closes it off. You can see, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's a little pin that's blowing up. So it's probably a good thing I did this. I found the little brass piece that blew out. Oh, it's a plug. If it's a plug, then where does the fuel go? Ah! It comes out right here in this hole. There's a little tiny hole right there, and that's where it comes out. It's been blowing here, so that's good. So we're just going to put this little plug back in, hopefully. And yeah. So I have to pull this whole part out again. So basically what you do for that is we might have to pull this out because we have to redo the pin. Hold on. So you redo that, it'll come off, then you can pull it, then you can put the thing back on. So I've come to the conclusion that looks kind of dirty in there. Let me yeah, there's dirt inside of that. I think that's the case pump or something. So, or it's a reed valve or something. I'm not really sure. So we're gonna pop this off because we don't need it in the way. So I'm gonna try to find the correct tool to get those damn bolts off. Which hopefully, yep, same as everything else. So I'm just hoping that we can do this without disturbing the throttle, because I don't know how to disassemble all that. I see there was a cotter or a pin in there. I'm gonna have to take that off. Yeah, I do want to check the reeds because they are dirty, which makes sense. The whole carburetor was caked in dirt, so the first time I took it apart. There's still dirt in it, and it's a two-stroke, so I'm assuming there's dirt in the engine, which is not good, or at least in the reed valve. So I'm going to take this off, and then I'll be back. Okay, we're back to where we started because I couldn't figure out how to get all this off. I got this bar off of the wheel down here, but I can't get it off because this wheel's in the way, and I have to readjust this when I get it all together. So we're just going to take the top off and check the points. So I'm going to go with my screwdriver and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to impact this nut off. It took me about 30 minutes to get that damn plate off because I kept breaking flatheads, impact things. But I finally got them off. Yeah, so now we're going to get this off, which is thread. I'm using a 19, so I think there's a relevant size. There's a normal size to that, like standard. I can't remember what it is, but it's like a direct conversion to it. I think it's like 3/4 or something. Somewhere around there. So we need to get this flywheel off, which I don't think I have a tool for, so I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, I'll get that off, and then we will move on the points. Okay, so all I did was took this on this side, hammered it in, it lifted it a little bit, it took it off of the shaft, it's tapered, so there's a little stuck on there, but it wasn't that hard. Hammer it off. You just have to pull it off. It's like most flywheels. Okay, so there is a little cover on the condensers, which I gotta figure out how to take off. It looks like, pull this side off. Did I say condenser? There is a condenser. It's right here. So it does look like when you give it throttle, it also changes the timing. Out of the way, this out. Oh, it's brand new in there. There's get the load time, so it's open. Yeah, those points are brand new. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, the ignition's fine. There's not a single, nothing. It looks brand new in there. So we're going to put it back together and try it with the possibly more cleaned out carburetor. So I'm just going to put it all back together. You've seen how it was put together the first time. Then we'll see what happens. So I wanted to add, it says in the cover to make sure that the points are set to 0.02, which you spin the prop over, the little cam inside of the crankshaft will move. Once it's in the center, which it is right now, take your feeler gauge, you look for 0.02 inches, not millimeters obviously, which I'll convert it over to you guys over there. 0.02 is 0.5 millimeters. So stick it in there. It should be a little tight, kind of like if you do valves in a 4-stroke. But yeah, these are fine. Perfect. Put it all back together, and then I'll be back. So I wanted to add the. I don't have a torque spec, and I can't get one obviously because this motor's so old. And I don't know what the actual. I've looked it up. It's hard to find. There's some warning label in here. Interesting. So there's no torque spec, but this is a lock nut, so it's tighter on the top. So all you have to do is put the impact. I could dug it on there a little bit, so it looks like it kind of was before, and pretty good. So I wanted to add, this is one of the bolts that goes on to there. There's 4 of them. What I would do is put anti-seize on here. I don't have any, but the reason is because this is steel and that's cast aluminum, so it will, this will pretty much corrode or rust or whatever. That'll corrode, this will pretty much rust, and then that's how it gets stuck. So if you put anti-seize on these bolts, you'll come off next time way easier. Okay, so the plug is obviously very dirty, so we're going to use blowtorch and burn it out. Okay, after a couple of seconds, it has cleaned it. So we're going to wait for it to cool off, we'll put it back on, put the carburetor and all that back on, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to put the car back together. I'm not 100% sure what the default distances are on the carburetor, but we'll just put it up there. So we have your needle, your float needle. Put that in the hole, make sure the hole's clean. Again, I've left the whole carburetor, so everything should be perfectly clean. You should be able to see through, if I go to the right side here, you should be able to see light through your main jet, which is perfect. So you put the needle in there, have your pin for your float. Put it in. Okay. The jet's in there, so I have to just put the float back on. Now, I'm not 100% sure which direction the float's supposed to be, because you can see there's a top part and a lower part. I would assume the lower part is where the float bowl is at, so I'm going to line it up there and put it on. Put our little needle jet back on. Have to go. I'll be right back. Okay. So it's lined up with the needle seat. Got my 7/16. We're going to tighten that on. Okay. Then we're going to take our flathead. We're going to go as far as we can in. That's bottom. I'm assuming it's like around 2. So we'll go 2. So half, 1, 1.5, 2, somewhere around there for the main jet. And then the idle jet, which was all blown out, and this is all clean. Put it back in there. I'm going to assume this is 1.5, somewhere around there. So we will screw it all in until you barely feel resistance. Don't over tighten it. There. 1.5. So half, 1, 1.5. Mind you, I don't have a manual, so I don't know what these are supposed to be set to. That's just my guess. And yeah, so that's the whole car put together. I just got to put it back on, and then I have to adjust the throttle handle here until we get that correct. So yeah, back with that. Okay, so I thought I would explain how the handle and all that works. So to line this up, you want the start to be in the middle. It's the middle, right? And then you want this bar to be like perfectly straight. So if you look at the motor, this bar right here that turns, you want it to be perfectly straight with the motor. And that's where you want your start to be. So I just got to put that plate back on, put the screws on. Then I have to put the fuel line. We're not using this yet because I don't have the adapter for it. So put the fuel line on it, and yeah, we'll be good. Okay, we're getting a lot closer. I'm putting the top on because there is a screw hole there, and you can get to the screw hole for the other car or the other part on the engine down here. So and you can spray fluid down this hole, or like starting fluid. So the choke is pretty much working good. I have the fuel line ran out the side right here. Not good, I know, but whatever. So there's 6 bolts. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the handle part will come out like that. And then there's 2 screws that hold on a plate here, and then that cover will go on top. My problem is in the front here, there's a little twisty part that will lock in the cover. It's like not welded, but like, you know, corrosion. So I have to get JB Weld, or not JB Weld, but PB Blaster. I don't have it right now. Spray it in there. It'll work. Clean it up. We're good. Okay, so we're outside with the motor. The fuel line's going to be hooked up here. Of course, the pump has to pump the gas through it first. Okay. Dump a little bit of gas. It does look like it is doing its job. Pump. Okay. Trying, but